2025. It's 10:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Paviel G, and I'm your host. I welcome you all to War Notes. I thank you all for being here. Again, hello to all my listeners. Tuning in to War Notes here, I am honored you are here, whether you are Black, Latino, or simply someone who values truth and justice. You belong here. I speak up because I believe in social justice. I believe that if we don't stand for what's right, if we remain silent when injustice and hate spread, then we build a world that hurts our neighbors, our families, our communities. The Lord always stands with those who stand up for the truth, for equality, not by force, but by courage. Lately, there's talk of civil war, of chaos, of rage over one killing, one political party. But I want to remind you, when one part is in pain, all of us feel it. When a Democrat is murdered by a Republican or a Republican by anyone, justice must be demanded, truth must be spoken, and healing must be sought. We can't allow division and hate to be the story. Now, this is War Notes, a broadcast where old school is to help bring a space for truth, calmness perhaps, and clarity. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do it now. Please share this broadcast. Let's build up to 1,000 listeners who demand better. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into what's exactly happening across the United States and across the globe. What you need to know. The murder of Charlie Kirk, conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was fatally shot while speaking at Utah Valley University at a public event. The killing has set off fierce reaction. Many in right-wing circles are calling it political violence, some demanding vengeance. Authorities remain investigating. Now, this event has stirred anxiety about where we are as a nation. Experts warn this kind of violence, when politicized, can spark more retaliation, more fear, more division. Now, following the murder, right-wing media and influencers have used militant language, some saying, quote, "we are in war," end quote, blaming political opponents. Others demand investigations, stronger security. Some leaders call for calm. Now, also, the FBI director made false announcements that the suspect was in custody, then corrected the record. This kind of contradictory public messaging can spread confusion. It matters because many of us look to law enforcement to be accurate. Correct? Absolutely. When political violence becomes normalized, it often escalates near communities of color. Our neighborhoods are often less protected. Hate speech, rhetoric, and blame narratives can incite real violence. against our people. We've seen times where folks dehumanize others over party lines, race, or belief. We must keep demanding justice, equality, protection, not just for those with power, but for those often ignored, poor communities, immigrant families, Black and Latino families. Now, family, let me pause here if this resonates with you, or if you feel fear or anger or sorrow. Know that you are not alone. Speaking out, demanding truth, it takes courage. And I respect that courage in you. So, if you wish, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Bring this to others who need to hear it. This isn't just news, it's about our lives. Now, in regards to the Supreme Court and immigration and sanctuary cities, the Supreme Court recently allowed more aggressive immigration enforcement in places like Los Angeles, lifting some protections that had limited ICE operations. This means increased risk for immigrant communities and Latino families in sanctuary or formerly partially protected cities. According to a recent report by Amnesty International, there is a worsening global human rights crisis. Authoritarian policies crack down on dissent, restrictions on migrants, suppressing voting rights, attacks on LGBTQ rights. These are not faraway problems only. They affect us directly because the same tendencies can reach us at home. When we talk and we discuss democracy and how we have fear of political violence, this is awful. Polls suggest that many Americans across parties believe democracy is under threat now more than ever. The murder of Charlie Kirk has pushed that fear higher. People are talking about a civil war in metaphor and sometimes literal context. Experts warn this tension, if stoked by hateful rhetoric, could spark further violence. And this is not good for anybody. Now I'm going to switch a little bit to a different tone, perhaps. We're going to talk about a little bit of lunch recipes and that could be taken care of in hard times, even when you're rationing or you don't have enough food in your home to keep your family comforted. So the first recipe that I'm going to provide to you all, if you have a pen and paper, please grab it now as we speak, or if not, once the live is done, you all guys can always repeat the video again and pause it at a later date. So there's a Depression era bean and onion sandwich. Don't criticize the title. If you have some dried beans, any variety that you have on hand, canned or dried, whatever, with a little bit of onion, a little bit of salt, and a bit of oil, some bread. Stale bread always works a little bit better because it's a little bit more tougher to soak it up, but that's a good sandwich. You cook the beans until they're soft. You saute the onions in oil. You mix with beans, mash lightly, and you can spread the bean and onion mixture on bread. You add pepper or a little spice if available, and this can fill you up, provide protein, fiber for minimal cost. Another recipe that I have for you all is a World War II style vegetable potato stew that you all can do for lunch too as well. The ingredients are potatoes, carrots, onions if you have it, maybe a handful of greens, water or broth, whatever you have on hand, and some salt. You chop all of those vegetables small. You boil the onions and carrots first, add the potatoes, simmer until they're tender, Add greens near the end. Season, serve hot, and it makes several servings. Now, I'm going to give you all some advice real quick. You can cook in batches. These are practical advice. Cook in batches, double or triple your kitchen work. Eat one, freeze the rest of it. Use dry beans and legumes over cans. Remember that soaking the beans saves you money too as well. You can stretch the bread. Stale bread could be toasted, used in sandwiches or croutons. You can trade with different neighbors. You could trade ingredients. Maybe your neighbor might have some sugar and you might need some rice. You can grow some simple herbs in pots inside your home or outside your home. You can do all of these things. And very quickly, I just want to give some very quick reflection on social justice. It's very important because, folks, beyond recipes and news and facts, there is a moral calling here. Being an actress, being a public voice, I know what it means to stand for something. If you see injustice, please speak. If you see lies or fear, expose them with the truth. The Lord calls us not to follow hate, not to follow division, but to lead with integrity, love, and courage, right? Do not let the murder of one Republican or one Democratic be a trigger for chaos. Let it be a reminder that every human life matters. When people of color are murdered, too often they are buried quietly. When powerful people are attacked, the world makes noise. But justice must be universal, right? Justice must be equal. We must demand it. Because if we don't, if we allow hatred, fear, vengeance to dictate the story, then we lose more than one life. We lose our soul. I thank each and every one of you all for listening, holding space, hearing the truth today on War Notes. And if this broadcast encouraged you in any form, any shape or form, if it challenged you, or if it lifted you, I want you to please share it. Please subscribe if you haven't. It's free to do. Bring another listener in. We are building something that will matter, that matters now and will matter later. And until the next time, I pray we all have shelter tonight, food in our stomachs, and safety for all of our families, no matter whether or not you're brown, white, black, Asian, wherever you come from, green or purple. I want that for each and every one of you all across the United States and across the globe. May you rest in hope, stand strong, and always choose justice, peace, and blessings. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a beautiful and blessed day.